Hi, and welcome along to a game of two halves. This is the first of many cookings that I'm going to be getting today.
Cooking with Goldbridge.
Cooking with Goldbridge, man. And this is the first of many cookings, right? It's been a big weekend in the Premier League. Some really different results. You know what, Mark? On Saturday, I think you should just see that. All right, so no home team lost on Saturday, and only one drew, and every other home team won. Then on Sunday, every away team won, which is a real rarity. You don't normally see that. I remember I was going to the game and somebody said to me, do you realize that every team that's played away from home has won today? Then another guy said to me, Bayern Munich lost yesterday, so, like, and then I was thinking, hey, why are these people giving me all these little bad omens, man? What's going on? Nah, man, we're going to be all right, man. We're going to win. We go 1-0 up in the game. Of course, we're talking about Arsenal, Man United now. We go 1-0 up in the game. And I'm thinking, okay, right. Because I thought first sort of 25 minutes, half an hour, we controlled the game. We were looking all right. We're looking untroubled. Caught lots of corners and stuff like that. Go 1-0 up. I'm thinking, all right, here we go. Couple of goals. And then after that, I don't know what happened to Arsenal. Like, we literally gift Manchester United back in. Well, not literally, we did gift Manchester United back into the game. A horrendous mistake by Zubimendi, despite we had a couple of warnings before there, where maybe Embarrass should have scored even before that from Bruno. A mistake. It was only really sort of Saliba who saved it. And from then on, mistake after mistake after mistake. But take nothing away from Manchester United. I thought, they were brilliant on the day. That Carrick got his tactics spot on, and they showed a lot of quality in those. I mean, the goal by Dorgu, right? I Flex was telling me Dorgu's going to come and he's going to do this and that. I was going, no, he ain't. And then he goes and scores that worldie. I'm like, oh my God! Even if we lose this game, I'm getting it. Even if we win this game, I'm getting it. Worldie by him. Worldie by Cunha as well. And as I said, even despite the fact that it was 2-2, United went on to win it 3-2. And a big win for you guys. And really, for me personally, that was a bit of a worrying display for me by Arsenal, because I saw players on the pitch that looked nervous. And I'm like, why are we looking so nervy when we're 1-0 up? And it's only January. Weren't good signs for me.
No, I thought I'd give Robbie a few minutes there because he's got to get this out and try and work through it. Also, I was just spending a few minutes looking at the league table, thinking, could we win the league? 12 points, probably a little bit too much.
Win the league?
Yeah. Well, we're unbeaten in 6. I was looking there, we're looking at the record. Man United are the only team in the league unbeaten in 6 Premier League games. And to be fair, half of those were hammering, but we'll leave that there. 6 games. This is why over the last 2 games, I've not predicted a Man United loss. And that will be a surprise to anybody who watches Premier League predictions, because I normally go United loss. But Man City, didn't think we'd lose. And to be fair, I predicted a draw against Arsenal. I'm over the moon with the win. And I thought it was a great, from a Man United point of view, I thought it was an absolutely brilliant result. But I also thought I felt like it was a bit of a line in the sand for football this season as well, because I think that I said this a couple of months ago, and I know we had the chat about Arteta and Arsenal. And look, not taking anything away from Arsenal, because they're top of the league still, and they have had the best team and they've had the best defence, and they've played low blocks and they found a way to win. But I think yesterday was where it finally caught up with them, because I didn't think they had anything else. When you make a mistake at the back and a team scores a couple of worldies, and you can't grind out results if someone scores 3 goals against you. And look, most weeks, I don't think you're going to get Dorgu scoring a goal like that, Cunha scoring a goal like that, and Zubimendi making a mistake like that. But Arteta, I think, has been, and we've mentioned this about Gyökeres as well, he works better in a team where the ball moves quicker. Luke Shaw's not a good left-back anymore. He's okay. And Saka, I was thinking, the more touches he takes, the better, because every time he sort of ran at Shaw, he went past him, but he just holds the ball up, and Odegaard holding the ball up, probe. And I was like, we've got Maguire and Martinez who don't like pace. We've got Luke Shaw, who's coming towards the end of his career, and we've got Dalot, who's bloody rubbish. And every single time you attacked, we were able to get players around them, stay deep, compact. And I was like, Arsenal ain't they've not done what I thought they would do. They're not moving the ball quick again, and they're relying on set pieces. And look, you got the corner with a few minutes to go. I was like, bloody furious, because you're like, that's what Arsenal do. But then we went up the other end, and that Cunha goal was just incredible. I think he's hit it perfectly. And I think fortune favours the brave there a little bit. I don't think I've heard people say Mainu and Casemiro ran the midfield. I don't think they did. I don't think they ran the midfield at all. I think Declan Rice was brilliant for Arsenal. I think in the sense of he was, especially in the first half, very good, energetic, but they didn't get hold of the game. I don't think Arsenal got hold of the game. And I think that Manchester United winning that game, as you said, was thoroughly deserved. And it is a concern from an Arsenal point of view in relation to the title, because Man City were in crisis last week and now they're 4 points off the top with Villa. And I do think there was a nervousness about Arsenal. Nobody was injured. They didn't have any. Nobody really came on and made a massive amount of difference. Eze, Madueke, Trossard, none of these players really gripped the game in an attacking sense, and defensively they looked uncharacteristic. I mean, you got, like you said, the goal. I think a lot of United fans on our watch along were like, oh, that's it. They've got the goal. They don't concede goals. For the next 5 minutes, we had 3 big chances because you were messing around at the back. So
crazy.
But yeah, crazy. So yeah, look, I think that Arteta's game plan was flawed in that one. But from a United point of view, I think we had 3 shots and we scored 3 goals, didn't we? So look, let's not run away with what we did to Man City was very different. Having said that, nobody scores 3 goals against Arsenal, and nobody had beaten Arsenal at the Emirates. So it's one of the big performances of the season.
Yeah, and I think, listen, the way Manchester United was set up is like counter-attack. But if you make errors and you give quality players like Cunha that sort of room, he will get it on target. He's a quality player. That's why you paid that money for him. We saw him doing that sort of stuff at Wolves. And I just felt that Arsenal, you said it there, fortune favours the brave. We weren't brave enough. It was all about control. And it's one of the things that Mikel Arteta has been criticised for a lot this season by Arsenal fans. They've been like, come on, unleash the team a bit. You've got a lot of attacking threats, but do you unleash the team enough? Do you get that ball quick enough into Gyökeres, for instance, to give him a chance to score? Do you get the ball out to the wingers? The midfielders, are you just, you know what I mean? Is there too much of a control? I was sort of talking about it yesterday and saying, we play a bit like how you play in NFL, where everything's a play. Like even from throw-ins, like I'm like, why are we taking so long to get a throw off? Right? Everything's got to be calculated and precise. And I feel that when you've got players like Eze in your team, you can do what, say, Cunha did yesterday. You're not really giving him a chance to do that stuff because everything is just way too controlled. So I think that's something that we're going to have to learn from. And I don't know what to think still this morning. I'm still, because on the one hand, listen, we're still top of the league. We've been doing well this season. And with that sort of style so far, and it's worked. So, and like you said, we were unbeaten at home until yesterday. It's a couple of worldies in the game. We haven't conceded goals like that for, I think, since Luton 2 seasons ago. But then on the other hand, I didn't like the way I saw players looking so nervy in the game. And, you know, when you look at it deeply for Arsenal, that's 3 games now with a possible of 9 points. We've only taken 2. Could have capitalized on the other team sort of not doing well, and we didn't. So we're going to have to get our act together in the league over the next few games. We have to.
I think the context of what you're saying there is really important as well, because 2 points from 9 is not very good. But no,
we're off form in the league.
Liverpool and Man United at home to draw and lose, and then Forest away to draw. And it all comes down to that. And I think, look, I said this yesterday, Arsenal with Arteta, I don't think the quality of the Premier League is that good this year. I think anyone can beat anyone. And I think there's a lot of teams reliant on set pieces. We've said that. We know that. And that's why I loved the way we won the game yesterday. I don't care if we only had 3 shots. 2 of the goals are just absolutely incredible. That's what you want to see. But the reason I think Arteta's made a conscious decision to pragmatically win this league. I think he's almost got a calculator out and gone, if we can just get these results in this way, we'll win the league, and I need to win the league. And that's why they take ages on throw-ins. That's why they keep the ball, because it's control. That's why you don't concede many shots. It's about control. If we control the game, But sometimes, like yesterday, if they at half time, if they'd come out at 1-1 and went, we need to win this game, let's go a little bit quicker. You'd have given up a little bit more possession, but you would have created more chances. And
exactly what they did against Aston Villa. Yeah. And they went quicker in the second half, and they went for the throat and they produced a great performance. Exactly what Arsenal did against when they played Bayern Munich. Yesterday, I just didn't understand it. And you put nerves into that. It was just a poor performance.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from Man United. That's my team, and we're sort of like looking at it at the moment, and we can probably afford to assess Arsenal's title race, because you look at the league table for United, we've just took 6 points from Man City and Arsenal, which was unexpected. We've got a good run of games now. Liverpool are falling away, and we know top 5 gets us Champions League, and we're firmly sat in 4th. And we're sort of sat there this morning going, it'd be a surprise now if we don't get top 5, which I think for a lot of United fans, we're like, Champions League football, it's so important. So we're sort of sat on Clyde now in this morning and can afford to assess the title race. So yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me assess something on Man United then, right? If you was to get top 4, top 5, right? And listen, the Michael Carrick's come in and is completely transformed the team, playing players where they want to play. Players look happy, motivated, as you can see, concentrated as well in that game. If he was to achieve that, should he get the job?
I think he's going to get the job anyway. I know this football club. Yeah, I know this football club. I've seen this story. Look, at the end of the day, you get rid of Carrick now and you bring in, I don't know, Tuchel. That's 15 to 20 million pounds on him and his squad. He then wants probably a bit of control. He wants 200 to 300 million pounds. You give it to Michael Carrick. He's cheap. His coaching staff is cheap. He's going to work under Wilcox and do what he says. It's all cheap. So I think from a board point of view, they're going to give him the job anyway. I think from a fan point of view, there's probably more of a split. I think there's a lot of people getting excited saying if he can take 6 points from Arsenal and Man City, why wouldn't you give him the job? Completely agree with that. I'm just terrified of it, Robbie. I am. I've got to be honest. Even if he finished, I heard what Roy Keane says, and I agree. Even if he gets 4th place, he shouldn't get the job, because it's not what happens now. It's what happens next season. Like, I think when you come in as an interim and, like you say, the players want to prove that it wasn't their fault and you get your arm around them, that's fine. But when you get the job full time, those players that you've had your arm around, you've suddenly got to think, well, I don't need you anymore. He's going to go, and you've got to buy players in. And look, I don't think there's a way back for United long term anyway.
Is it though? That the fact that, you know, the whole Ollie thing has given you guys PTSD, and if you would have brought him in as an interim and it was, you know, from abroad, Mikel Carrico that's come in, right?
yeah.
and then end up getting you top 4, you get the job, wouldn't he? Is it?
I'm not against it. All I've said is I'm scared of it. If it happens, I'm going to be the guy that goes, I'm not convinced this is the right thing to do, but let's hope it is. But also, I still think as well, look, football fans, we know what we're like. We don't think pragmatically. You want your board to think pragmatically. Like, the fans can sing the song and say, give him the contract. But what I would say is give him 10 games. Don't actually give him the job until the summer. Like, interview other people and interview him as well. But give him 10 games, because we have played 2 teams that are brilliant, but perfect. Like, we love to sit deep and counter. Now, what we're going to do when we play Fulham next week, what we're going to do when we play West Ham, I want to see us play a few different systems before I start making a mind up. But look, embrace it. Let people get excited. It's 2 brilliant wins, and the plaudits are right. I'd be furious if we handed him a contract tomorrow, you know, but like maybe in April. Let's see. All
right. Well, listen, Man City, they got the win 2-0 over Wolves. They needed that because they also had, apart from your defeat, they lost to Bodo Glimt. Looked really bad, but listen, got back to winning ways against Wolves. Not the most super convincing, but they got the win. That was the most important thing. And Aston Villa, very as impressive, I'd say, as your result yesterday, going away to Newcastle and winning yesterday. That keeps them in 4th as well. And they haven't won. I think I saw a stat like they hadn't won there for like 17 years. And they bossed the game. And that was a really impressive win for Aston Villa, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, look, I was looking at the next few fixtures in the title race because it's starting to get interesting. Man City go to Tottenham next Sunday. Then they've got to go to Anfield. And then they're playing, I think, Fulham and Newcastle at home. So they've got the tougher fixtures compared to Arsenal, but Aston Villa have got some good fixtures as well. I mean, I just think from Man City's point of view, the daunting thing is I never thought they were in crisis. I thought they had a defensive crisis. I think against United, they were so bad at the back, and they were bad against Bodo Glimt, but they've got Gehi in there now because that's what they do. They go and spend money because they could win the title. They could win the Champions League. You don't know. As for Aston Villa, I mean, to go to St. James's Park and win, I think we both predicted Newcastle would win that. I think Newcastle are their own topic at the moment, and Eddie Howe's going to be under pressure, let's be honest, as are a few managers. But having seen Villa play against Everton, I didn't see that performance, especially when they've just played on Thursday night as well. So brilliant performance by Aston Villa. And the way the results have gone at the weekend, I think, I know Emery says they're not a top 5 side, but they're getting closer and closer to actually, no matter what, they're going to finish in the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be a top 5 side. Great result for Chelsea as well, and their new manager, they're going away to, listen, Palace on the floor at the moment, but still impressive 3-1 win. And
it's looking bad for Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, he's settling in okay. Well, yeah, let's talk about Liverpool, because that was a very bad defeat for them. Last second of the game, Adley from a long throw, which goes back to what we were saying about sometimes mix it up a bit, do something, where we were taking half an hour on our throws, they just threw it in and managed to get a goal from it. But yeah, Liverpool at the moment, what's going wrong there as well?
Well, we've got a good run of fixtures coming up now, and Chelsea have got teams like West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley in their next 4. So the thing that would worry me about Liverpool is you're not catching Villa. That's third. You're not catching Man City and Arsenal. And Chelsea and United have started winning, and they've got 3-4 good Premier League games, whereas you've got Newcastle at home, Man City at home, and Sunderland away. So that gap, I think, in a month could be even bigger. And that, if you're not in the top 5, you're not in the Champions League unless you win it, and you're not going to win it. So I think from Liverpool's point of view, I know what they are as a club, and even though they're our biggest rivals, I do respect the fact that they're not really a sacking club. They try and stick with things, but I'm telling you, you're not getting Champions League football. Like, I thought after the Marseille game, this might be a bit of a bounce for Liverpool, but watching them against Bournemouth, there's nothing new, Robbie. There's nothing from the start of the season to now. There's nothing new. They've got a good team, but they're lethargic. They're not intense. They're not clicking. And look, if Liverpool want to stick with Slot and give Alonso the job in the summer, that's fine. But he's going to be starting from no European football at this point, maybe Europa League. Whereas
you don't think they'll get Champions League?
I can't see it. I just can't see I can't see how. I think United and Chelsea are going to start winning a lot of games because they've both got managers in now that the players are playing for, and it's in their interest to win a lot of games. And I think with Liverpool, I just don't think they're good enough to beat Man City. I don't think they're good enough to beat Newcastle, and I don't think they're good enough to go to Sunderland and win. So how many points do you give them out of them? 9. If United and Chelsea get 9 from 9, which they could, that gap could be, 7 points by the time you hit the end of Feb? You're not coming back from that. So I think Liverpool are in big, big trouble. And would I sack Slot? I probably would. I think Champions League football is so important, and he's not going to get it.
He has to get that. He has to get that. Talking of, listen, the bottom's hotting up as well. Great win for West Ham. 3-1 win over Sunderland. That's a couple of wins now. And maybe that goes to saying that, maybe stick with the guy a bit. Because Nuno was looking like he was going to. Yeah, he was looking like he was going to get sacked a couple of weeks ago. But that was a big, big win. 3-1 win for him. But also a big win for Nottingham Forest as well. Going away to Brentford. Brentford, another team that have been brilliant at home. Great home. I think they were unbeaten at home, weren't they?
Yeah.
That went as well. They lost to Nottingham Forest. That was a surprising result. Nottingham, I think we both went with a home win there.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest winning that game as well.
If you're West Ham, wouldn't you? Because they've won 2 wins. They've had 2 wins in a row, and they're still 5 points off safety because Forest go to Brentford and win. And Leeds, who we thought had basically got themselves out of it. I suppose this is what happens. Last couple of years, we've had the 3 newly promoted teams going down. Now we've got a couple of established teams potentially going down, and they're suddenly, I think we could have quite a high points total for relegation and a very low points total for the Champions League. So it's a funny league. But yeah, West Ham need to keep. I mean, 5 points is still a lot, and they've won their last 2. So fair play to them. But
yeah,
it's still going to be tough for West Ham to stay up.
Yes, Burnley are struggling. They're still looking like they're going to go down. But could Spurs be dragged into it? 2-2 draw away at Burnley. The fans saying, singing that, they want the manager sacked. It's not looking good for Spurs at all, is it?
How is he still there? I mean, look, I like Thomas Frank, but we're old enough to know in football that that's not enough. If the players and the fans buy into his system, you give him time. They've not been buying into his system for weeks. And look, a draw against Burnley, fair play, all right, it's not a loss. But you look at their last 5 games, 3 draws, 2 losses. It's terrible. And like you say, that they're not getting Europe now. And in fact, 8 points from West Ham, that can be 5 points in a couple of weeks if you're not careful. And they need to act. And again, I don't like asking for people to get sacked, but I don't know what Spurs are doing. I said after last weekend he should be gone, and nothing's changed this week. And again, they've got.
I think it's a matter of who for. There's not a lot.
They're losing the next 2 games, aren't they? They're going to lose. They've got Man City, and they've got Man United, and then they've got Newcastle. And then they've got you. Their next 4 games, they're going to lose at least 2 or 3 of them.
And if, say, West Ham got a couple of wins and, Forest, they're right in it. I mean, big up to Fulham, 2-1 win over Brighton. Brighton controlled much of the game, but Harry Wilson again, he's been brilliant this season with an absolute screamer. And if we look at the table now, let's start at the bottom, like you said. Wolves, we know, are going. They're on 8. Burnley on 15. West Ham on 20. 5 points above them are Forest on 25. Leeds as well on 25. They're playing tonight, of course, against Everton. Crystal Palace, another team falling like a rock on 28. And Spurs, 28 points. It's not looking good for Spurs. And when you talk about those games they've got coming up, could they get drawn into a relegation fight?
I just want them to keep Thomas Frank because they've got us in a couple of games. I do not want them to bring in someone like, I don't know. Who would their Michael Carrick be, though, to be fair? It'd have to be Harry Potter, I think. We'll be all right.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. They're in big trouble at the moment. At the top, Arsenal still top on 50, but now only 4 points above Man City on 46. Villa also on 46 in 3rd. In 4th place, despite having a horrendous season, is Manchester United on 38 points. Chelsea into 5th on 37. Liverpool, the big losers of the weekend, really. 36 points now in 6th place. Only 2 points above Fulham. So Arne Slot as well, another manager under a lot of pressure, Mark. Time to get into
just very, very quickly. There was a lot of United fans yesterday sort of like taking a pop at Amorim, and whilst the win ratio wasn't great, people do need to remember he got sacked for falling out with the board. He didn't get sacked on results, and we've only lost 5 games this season, and that's the same as Villa and Man City. So, and I also think that you look at Ahmad and Dorgu, their work rate, a lot of that is from Amorim's system as well. So look, Carrick's done a great job, and I like the back 4. But it wasn't like Ten Hag or Ollie at the end with Amorim. There was a lot of things that we were in the top 3 for shots created, XG and stuff like that. So I do feel there's a little bit of unfairness from some United fans who are just going, "Oh, Amorim's a fraud, this, that, and the other." There was the building blocks of something. I'm not saying it wasn't wrong to sack him at some point, but he did get sacked for falling out with the board. It's a bit like Maresca. It's like looking at Chelsea and going, "Oh, they're 5th." Like Maresca wasn't far off that either, but yeah, just brilliant. Back 4 in 4. 4th.
Let's see if they can keep it going. Right, let's get into our team of the week. Do you want to fire off? I mean, I went for Emi Martinez in goal for Villa. Yeah. He pulled off some really important saves in that game. I could have went for Dubravka as well. He pulled off a lot of good saves against Spurs, but I think Emi Martinez.
Yeah, I nearly tried to get Le Mans in, but he did concede a couple of goals. So, yeah, Emi Martinez, clean sheet, and apparently played very well. I didn't get to watch all of it because my lad was playing at 2:00, so I was rushing around. But, yeah, apparently had a good game.
A back 4.
I've got I've got Luke Shaw and Martinez from the Man United game. Thought they both played very well. I've got Gehi on his debut at Man City. Had a good game. And then I wanted to shoehorn somebody in because I felt like he sort of played very defensively on the right hand side and he was brilliant. So I was struggling for right back. So I put Jimenez from Bournemouth in it as my right back.
Okay, I went Twanzebe, Burnley scored.
Against Spurs though, isn't it? Come on, we can't rinse Spurs and then put
but look where
Jimenez is very good.
Jimenez. All right. All right. We'll get Jimenez in. I went Harry Maguire. I thought he was.
I don't mind that. Maguire or Martinez, it doesn't matter to me.
I went Gay as well. Yeah. And Nico Williams from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, but this is Arsenal. Sure. Saka, one of the best wingers in the world.
Yeah,
in his pocket.
Right. In his pocket.
It wasn't really in his pocket. He had a good game against. He had a good game again. I was struggling for left back. That's why I went with Luke Shaw because I thought he was.
All right, we put Shaw in. All right, we put Shaw in. Jimenez, Gahey, and Maguire. Midfield, I went Wilson, Adley, because it was just such a huge goal for Bournemouth, and Buendia, Villa, great goal by him. He's been playing well.
I probably can't argue with that. I went Wilson, Bruno, and Szoboszlai because I thought he played really well. But in fairness, I can understand why you've gone with Adley and Buendia. But I thought Bruno did play well in the last hour against you. I thought Szoboszlai. I think he's Liverpool's best player by a long way. I think he's
kind of like their only player at the moment.
Yeah. So sometimes to be fair, I think you can't blame him. He's been brilliant for them, and I thought Bruno was good for us, but. Look, Buendia and Adley,
when to go away at Newcastle, put in that performance. He's got to get a shot. And he scored the goal, the all-important first goal. Up front, who've you got?
Got Dorgu, like you. I've got Cunha, even though only came on as a sub. I just think he's been brilliant the last
Man United 11, is it?
And well, I can only imagine if Arsenal had won. Bloody hell, I'd struggle to get anybody who didn't have a team beginning with A in it. And maybe AFC Bournemouth might have got one. And we've got look, I'm gonna have to go with you here. I just put Jesus or Pedro.
I went Esteval, Chelsea. I thought he was really good. And I went Semenyo, another goal for City. I guess it's Wolves, but.
Yeah, leave him out. I think Esteval go in and then go for either Cunha or Pedro, I think.
All right, I'll get Cunha in there.
There we go.
It was a fantastic goal. I'll give it to you.
What goal do you think was better? I know this is hard for you this morning, but Cunha or Dorgu? Because I actually think Cunha's was better.
Dorgu goal.
I liked Cunha's. I think it was just
even though I don't know, he was a little bit handball in that goal. But, what about the Maguire handball? What did you think?
What about the Odegaard handball at Anfield?
No, I'm not. Anfield.
Yeah, back 2 years
and that was
ago.
about 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Right? Talk to me about that. You've not mentioned VAR or nothing. Not that we're using that as an excuse. That looked handball to me, man.
I think what it is, I will be fair. If that was the last minute and we were losing 2-1 to Arsenal and that hits Saliba's hand, I am going to absolutely go mad. But what I would say is, and I did do a bit of research, I didn't think it was going to get given at the time. I was quite calm. So I think psychologically, I'm indoctrinated into the PGMOL's bloody handball rule, which is confusing. But I think because he's naturally got his arm down, they say he's in a natural position. But I do actually have sympathy, though, because it blocks the shot. So, it's a strange rule. But I knew it. I felt it wouldn't get given. Justifying why, Robbie, I don't know. I can't but I've got to say I wasn't panicking. The Dorgu one I was, but I think it's inconclusive, isn't it? I think from behind it looks like he handles it. From the front, it looks like it's his hip. And do you want to cancel goals like that unless you're an Arsenal fan? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark, thank you very much for coming on, man. It's been a hard day. Listen, the day's only just started. It's going to be a hard day. When you do content around football, and you
Gotta
lose the
take
big
it,
games,
especially with the people you do. I mean, they're gonna, you know, they'll be drinking pints of Red Bull before they're coming in. They're gonna be bouncing like bloody Zebedee. They'll be going mad.
But listen, if we win the league, it's all good. I'll take it, right?
I still think Arsenal will win the league. I'm still sticking to that.
Yeah, that game against Leeds at the weekend's absolutely massive. We got to go and win that. And listen, don't forget,
play more open, hasn't he? Just play more.
Yeah. Got to be unleashed, man. Like, you know, we got to be unleashed, man. I was very, very, very disappointed. That was one of the first times this season that I kind of went in on Arteta and went in on that was not good enough. Right, so let's hope.
Well, you won't score a goal like Dorgu or Cunha, will you? I don't think you see Arsenal score a goal like that. I don't think you see Arsenal take a shot from that distance. Occasionally,
we've done it. Like, there's been some games, but it was like a while back now. Like against Tottenham, we were doing that. Against, you know, you'll see like Eze can do those sort of things, but he's not being unleashed.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mark, thanks very much for coming on. I'll be back on Mark's channel on Friday, looking ahead to a massive week now of games all over the league. When you see the results this week, all over the league, whether it be at the top or whether it be at the bottom, this weekend is going to be absolutely massive. So looking forward to that on That's Football on Friday. Mark, thanks very much. And I'll see you guys soon here on AFTV. I'm getting confused now. DR, thank you.